Welcome to Home of Politics. This is the best place to be. Continue enjoying and be informed. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about the politics of Nairobi County, and specifically we are going to measure on the governor leadership in Nairobi County. Right now we see every party, every leader is still in the seat, freshly appointed as a leader, but the aim and the target they are focusing in the coming leadership, that one is come 2027 2032, whether they will be able to maintain where they are or move at a higher position come 2027, because life is a progress. People need to improve, people need to get out of their positions. They can be replaced and reshuffled. That is the Kenya that we are having. And talking about the Nairobi County leadership, we are talking about these people who are aspirants of becoming governors come 2027 2032, the coming years. Right now we have Governor Johnson Sakaja as the governor of Nairobi County, but we still have those people who still feels they can be the best people who can lead Nairobi County. Ladies and gentlemen, among the people who have recently been had, if they have that ambition to become governors, one of these people is the Embakasi MP. This is Babu Owino. We also have Timothy Wanyonyi Wetangula. This is from Westland. He is an MP. And right now we have Johnson Sakaja. Amongst these three are the people who are having stiff competition come 2027. And it is evident that some of these people might be famous just by name, but coming in the ground, having a lot of votes, these people might be very weak. But before we continue, please, if you are here for the first time, subscribe and enjoy watching. According to the steps that Babu Owino has been taking of recently, he has been very active in politics. Everywhere he is well known, and he is such a courageous young leader who is inspiring every youth at least to become as Babu Owino. And of recent, the reports have been saying that he is so active and he can qualify to be a governor come 2027. This one is a good progress, because coming from an MP seat to a governor's position, that one is a great improvement. And where the task is, it is not to fit into that seat, but how to reach there. So far so good. People are trying to compare this Babu Owino and Sakaja come 2027. Why do you think this is the comparison that can bring out maybe some of the contradiction? Because people have their own opinions. And about the people who are seeing themselves as the candidates of governor seat in Nairobi 2027, I have only mentioned three of them. This is Sakaja. We also have Babu Owino, and the last one we have Timothy Wetangula Wanyonyi. But here we will majorly compare Babu Owino and Sakaja, because Babu Owino is the person who is right now being seen as the person who has the intention to knock down Governor Sakaja come 2027. Now, if we may look at the politics of Babu Owino, let us see him as a governor now come 2027, as a candidate, sorry. How can he manage to reach there? He should improve on so many areas, and if at all he can be advised to step down from an MP position and move to governorship position, then it will be very difficult for Babu Owino to become a governor in Nairobi County. This is because of several factors that are being seen, and I think they are a hindrance for him to become a governor come 2027. The thing that is making me to say that this leader cannot succeed to become a governor 2027, it is because of how the ground is. We all know that Babu Owino comes from ODM party, and in 2022 and every other election period, these party leaders are the people who allows you to stand for a certain seat or denies you that chance. For instance, in Nairobi County, Timothy Wetangula Wanyonyi had shown his interest to become a candidate of governorship in Nairobi County, but he was denied this seat by Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, who are the leaders of Azimio and ODM. And now that he was denied that position and given to somebody else, this Wanyonyi decided to step down and again vie as an MP. And that is why I'm saying, if Babu Owino can decide to stand as a governor in 2027, then there is a possibility that he cannot succeed, because one of the reasons these leaders are determined by the party leaders. Maybe there is a possibility Babu Owino cannot be given a ticket by Raila Amolo Odinga, because maybe Raila Amolo Odinga can see another potential person who can stand in ODM as a candidate to the governorship seat. We also see that the nomination and other things, it is determined by the party leaders, despite voters showing their interest and other things. We also see that the recent governor of Nairobi County is Sakaja, and he is from UDA party. Now that Sakaja is a person who has managed to be a leader in Nairobi County, and he is having a lot of people who are supporting him, then it might be so difficult for Babu Owino to stand and win 2027, now that it is obvious that Sakaja wants to run for the second term as a governor in Nairobi County. And knowing very well that leadership is something that everybody is really wishing to be in that position, then it will not be easy for Sakaja to step down or to willingly leave this governorship to Babu Owino. He has to work a lot. And right now we see UDA or Kenya Kwanza is really trying to work very hard to impress the citizens so that they can secure another chance in the coming years. And so for Babu Owino, it will be a very difficult thing for him to succeed. Another reason we see, Sakaja has numerous youths in Nairobi. Actually, everywhere the youths are dominating Nairobi County. And even if the other leaders also have got their own population or people who can support them, comparing to Sakaja, he has a lot of youths that are supporting him. And this means that in the ground or with the locals, Sakaja is very well organized and he has a big team. And come 2027, it can be very easy for him again to win the governorship seat than compared to 2022, because the first thing, he is continuing to create a lot of bond with some of the people whom he was not close with them. Another thing, he is trying to bring close the youths, and he is mobilizing numbers and numbers of youths. And therefore, for Babu Owino to defeat this person again come next election, it will be a great task for him to work hard in order to have this seat. So comparing the number of youths that Babu Owino has mobilized and the number of youths that Sakaja is having right now, the numbers cannot be compared. For Sakaja, it is a huge number, and Babu Owino is a person who is now organizing, growing, and so to succeed, it can be a bit difficult. We also see that Babu Owino's politics depends 100% on the politics of Raila Amolo Odinga. And if just by chance, when Raila Amolo Odinga maybe can decide to step down or replace his own position with another person in the opposition to run for the presidential candidate in 2027, then we see this act of stepping down in politics of Raila will directly affect Babu Owino. This is because whenever Babu Owino is having a lot of strength and power to sprout, this is coming directly from Raila Amolo Odinga, because he has been receiving 100% support from Odinga. And the issue of maybe appointing another person like Kalonzo Musyoka or Oparanya or another person in ODM to stand in the place of Raila Amolo Odinga, this thing will bring down the fame and the powers of Babu Owino. And so, just in case Raila Odinga decides to be inactive for a short while in politics, then Babu Owino can still not manage to stand on his own, because his support 100% relies on Raila Amolo Odinga, and it's a high time for Babu Owino to at least to start growing and depend on himself. That one might be another factor that might make this person not to stand out as a governor candidate come 2027. We also see that many of the scandals have been following up and down this Babu Owino. Of course, recently we have heard he has been having a case in the court about the shootings that he shot DJ Evolve. Although he has been responsible of the medication and other things, but there are some of other scandals that are following this governor, and these are just but bringing a bad impression of his face, and it might be a problem towards his moving and vying for another high position. Apart from the issue of scandals that are affecting this Babu Owino, we also see that Babu Owino sometimes lacks integrity. What is integrity? So we see in his speech and other things, maybe he can speak carelessly. Sometimes maybe it is not by his own wish, but maybe because out of anger he cannot hold or control himself. Sometimes he acts immaturely, like he's in between that age of youth and leadership, and sometimes he forgets that he is a person who should be acting as a role model, and he acts otherwise, whereby he possesses characters of youthfulness so much than that one of a leader. And we see this is bringing confusion sometimes, because sometimes he acts as a good leader, sometimes he expresses immaturity, sometimes in his speech he's not observing a lot of integrity on how he is addressing other people. And we see, as a youth leader who is supposed to inspire a lot of youths to be the example, then this lack of integrity might hinder his position to move at a higher position, maybe as a governor come 2027. We also see that according to the how Sakaja is working so hard right now, it will be difficult for Babu Owino to succeed to be a governor come 2027, because Sakaja is scheming so keenly on how to collect more votes, how to mobilize more youth, how to work with other people closely, at least to make a difference between how he was relating with these people before and how the things will turn out come 2027. And the tactics that he is using right now, Sakaja is very accommodative. Actually, he is working with different people, may it be youths, may it be the aged, everybody is just incorporated in the leadership of Sakaja. And with this strategy that he is using, then for Babu Owino to beat him come 2027, it will be very difficult. We also see that the strategy that Sakaja is using right now, come observe his cabinet secretaries, other people that he has employed him employed them in his offices and other stakeholders in the county. Sakaja is working with all people, not only of UDA or Kenya Kwanza, the government that brought him in the seat. No, he is working with all people. In fact, he has appointed so many cabinet secretaries and other officials from UDA who are working with him closely in his office. And with this strategy, he is not measuring on the politics of segregation. He is not measuring or favoring other people who are from his own close side, but he is accommodating everybody. And if we compare the strategy that Governor Sakaja is using right now, it is difficult to predict whether he is leaning on UDA or leaning on ODM, because he is playing a neutral politics. And this just tells us that he is cunning, because he is not showing any boundaries between these political parties. And the strategy that he's using of accommodating every person from any political party, this is one of the character that is making him maybe to be so famous, to create close relationship with the different people in his government. And this is just but giving him a high chance of winning more votes come 2027, because he can convince the people of ODM and other parties to vote for him, because if he is still in the seat from another political party and he is still appointing other people from opposition and other parties to work close with him, this means that this person is accommodative. He is providing at least equal chances for everybody, regardless of your party affiliation. And for him, being beaten by Babu Owino, still it will be a problem. We also see that comparing the politics of Sakaja and Babu Owino, sometimes we see maturity is being exposed in the politics of Sakaja, because we see the life of Babu Owino is highly driven by this thing of being in opposition, and sometimes he forgets that working close with other leaders, despite being in ODM or in Kenya Kwanza, is a key thing. And so the little maturity that is being exposed by Sakaja, it is the only strength that is beating down Babu Owino. And for him to be defeated again, it will be very difficult. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, I've given you the possibility of the people who are just waiting for the gubernatorial seat come 2027 in Nairobi County. And we see Sakaja can have his own medicine, who is Timothy Wanyonyi Wetangula. If we can compare this Westland MP with Babu Owino and Sakaja, we can find out that the strength that this Timothy Wanyonyi Wetangula is having can outdo that one of Sakaja, because Timothy Wanyonyi Wetangula is very famous. He is very famous than Babu Owino. We also see that he's doing matured politics, very matured politics, and we also see that he's very influential, among other things that he has been doing, even in grounds of development and other things performing. He is very, very competitive, and we see this person has been in leadership for a very long period. In 2007, this Timothy Wetangula was elected as a councillor. He ruled as a councillor until 2012-2013, when he was given an MP seat. He has been an MP from 2012 up to 2022. He won again Westland MP seat, and so he will be an MP to 2027. And if we compare the history of leadership that he has been in Westland, that one is from 2007 up to 2027. This is a very long period, and this person has the capabilities of changing and going for a higher seat. If only he could be allowed by ODM party to stand as a governor in ODM ticket, he could even have knocked down Sakaja. But because he was denied this ticket by Raila Odinga and his colleagues, then he stepped down and vied again for the MP seat. Ladies and gentlemen, it is just a matter of time And as long as he showed interest in this seat in Nairobi County, there is a possibility that come 2027, he will be on ballot with Sakaja fighting toughly. And as we can see here, Babu Owino maybe can lack option, whether to move forward as a governor or come down to an MCA seat. It is either he maintains his MP seat or he retires from politics. What should I say? So we see the gubernatorial seat has a very tough competition. That one is Sakaja and Timothy Wetangula Wanyonyi from ODM still. These people are the two competitors who can bring a very, very conducive environment come 2027 until we see the winner emerges. The problem here we see Babu Owino is from ODM. He is an MP. He should maintain his seat or retire from politics, because when we see the issue of senator, we have strong leaders from ODM still. A leader like Senator Edwin Sifuna, he's a very strong leader. He is even a secretary of ODM party, and I bet 2027 Sifuna cannot decide to step down for another person, because he is also scheming on rising and rising in his politics. Now that Babu Owino cannot go down to a senator seat because there's a stiff competition from his ODM fella there, and he cannot even go as a governor in that position again because he has a high competition of Timothy Wetangula and Sakaja Johnson. Then where should he go? It is either he works hard, very, very hard as an MP to maintain his seat at least for a certain duration until he creates a high bond and connection with the people in the ground, or he finds himself in a hot soup. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you see this politics, but mapema ndio best. People should at least start scheming on the coming years, because right now political leadership is something that is everybody is salivating for this leadership. I don't know what you think about the leadership of Nairobi County, but please, that is according to my analysis. Send me your ideas in the comment section. Thank you for watching.